What's up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader coming back to you with another market update. And this one's going to be a little bit more unique because these are all items that sold and closed last night on CertifiedLink, which is sort of similar to Hakes auctions. And I've talked about them in past videos. What I like about CertifiedLink, at least for me, who, I live in Tennessee, they do not charge a sales tax if you buy on CertifiedLink. And the buyer's premium is only 3%. So relative to even eBay, CertifiedLink is a lot less expensive for me to buy Star Wars figures. And while I did bid on a few items in this auction, I didn't win anything, unfortunately. But there were some real surprises. In general, I did not expect the prices, the final sales prices for a number of these items to go as high as they did. They were pretty shocking for the most part on the high end. There were a couple of exceptions that I'll go over. I'm not going to show you everything in the auction, but I'm going to show you everything that I tracked, because you do have to bid in order to get it on your watch list. It's kind of a weird setup. I haven't figured out any other way to do it other than to actually bid. So when these items came up for auction about a month ago, I went ahead, when they were still like $1, I just went ahead and added a bunch of them. And so I've got everything here. We're starting with one of the premier items that were in the auction. There wasn't anything super crazy in the auction like at Hakes right now. If you go to Hakes.com, you won't believe the auctions right now for Star Wars stuff. It's pretty incredible, and I'm sure I'll go over it after those auctions end. A lot of pre-production stuff, just incredible items in that Hakes auction. There wasn't anything super incredible in this auction, but there were some very, very nice licensed mint-on card items that I want to show you. But here we are. This is a 12-back A Obi-Wan Kenobi with the SKU on the figure stand, on the footer. And so that means that this is one of the very, very earliest 12-backs that Kenner produced, because it has that SKU number. And this was an AFA 85 grade. So 85, 85, 80. I mean, this is about as good as it gets. An unpunched 12-back A with the SKU footer. This is just incredible item. And what I like about how CertifiedLink is set up is that I can show you all these photos without showing you the price yet. So I'm going to let you take a wild guess as to what you think this one sold for. And this one sold for $10,250. So now all of those prices, I believe, are before the buyer's premium. So you got to remember, you got to add 3% on top of that total, which again is not significant relative to what even, on eBay, I've got to pay sales tax of 9.25%. So it's still a lot cheaper than buying on eBay, but clearly not for this item. $10,000 plus for a AFA 85 12-back A. I have no way to judge what how fair of a price that was, but man, that is just a pretty incredible item. Here's another one that was really beautiful. This was a Palitoy 12-back Tusken Raider. This was a 12-back B Sand People, and it was 85, 85, 80, an overall 85 for a 12-back B. So as you can tell, there were just some absolutely gorgeous early card backs. That one sold for $1,500. I thought that price was fantastic. I've seen a number of these Palitoy 12-backs in such high grade like this. I've seen them blow past $2,000, and that might be because of the character, the Sand People versus like a more important character like a Vader or somebody like that. But still, I think in the current environment, to get an AFA 85 12-back B Palitoy at $1,500, I thought that was a great price. I would, if I'd had the money for it, I would have absolutely paid that. Here was another one. This one was a 12-back C 85 plus C3PO. So another very, very high grade 12-back C3PO. I mean, how often do you see an 85 plus grade anything that's a 12-back? And the price was pretty high. It sold at $2,000. Again, I think relative, given how high that grade was, and we've talked so many times about how going from an 80 to an 85 to an 85 plus for loose figures, and even now mint on cards, you expect a massive price premium. In this case, I don't think that massive price premium really happened. It was a 12-back C, so it's a little bit later 12-back, but a 12-back A, or excuse me, a 12-back C in an AFA 85 grade, you're probably pushing $1,500. So this wasn't a massive price multiple to go from an 85 to an 85 plus, but I thought, again, I think if I had that kind of money, that's a price I would have paid very happily for an item that was so high grade. I mean, that's an investment grade, really nice item. Here's another one that was also very high grade. This was an 85 grade 12-back C R2. It seemed, the card got an 80 score, which, maybe it's just the photo, but it just seems like the back of the card was pretty beat up to get an 80 score. A lot of scratches. It could have been on the case too. Who knows? But from the front perspective, it looks gorgeous, really mint. And the price on that one, my concerns clearly didn't affect the price. It sold for $3,000, over $3,000, which to me, that's a high number. I probably would not have paid that for that R2. I think that either there's something going on with the case or the back of that card was, the card subgrade of 80 is probably a little high to me. Maybe I'm just being picky, but me personally, I wouldn't even come close to paying $3,000 for that, but it's certainly an incredible item though. Here was a 12-back C Chewbacca, but what's unique about this one is that it had the 32 sticker on there, the 32 action figure sticker on there. So, as they were transitioning from 12 backs to bringing out some of these newer characters, some of these early card backs got this sticker slapped on it. And so there was probably not a lot of these in terms of the population for these, but you can see there it's labeled with a 32 back sticker, overall 85 grade. I mean, another really high grade. That one sold for $2,900. Now, that's about the same price as what that R2 sold for. Me personally, again, no offense to anybody who bought either one of these. Me personally, I would much rather have this item than I would the R2. The R2, you can find those pretty easily. The 12-back C R2s are everywhere. But this is something that's probably a little more unique. I would love to know what the population report is for this one, because I can't imagine there's a ton of high-grade 12-backs with a 32-back sticker on the back. And my gut says that this is a lot more rare. So I'd probably, if I was going to spend that kind of money, it's about the same amount as the 12-back C R2 that sold. I'd take this one all day long, personally. Now, this I thought was one of the steals of the auction. This sales price was a lot lower than I expected. This was a Harbert AFA-80 12-back, made in Italy. Beautiful Harbert card back, and I love the logo on the back, or on the front, the Guerra Stellari logo. And this, I think, was the steal of the auction. And if I had been in a different financial point when this was going on, I probably would have bid on this. But this is $1,300 was the sales price on it. That was, to me, a fantastic deal on an unpunched Harbert 12-back in high grade. That was to me one of the 2 or 3 big steals of the auction, in my opinion. Here was one that I was pretty serious about, and I was going to put in a serious bid on it if it stayed within my budget, but it did not. It did not stay within my budget. So this was a 20-back G R5 D4. The reason I wanted this one is because I have a 20-back G Death Star droid. So I thought it'd been really cool to kind of get the matching R5 to go with it. This was graded AFA-80. And I think my max was kind of in that $1,000 range, was kind of my max I was willing to spend. This one's ended up selling for $1,217, so about 20% higher than I was willing to go for something like that. And I think, if it had been unpunched, if it had all 80 subgrades, this one had a blister subgrade of 75. So, again, I would have been absolutely 100% happy with this, but I think if I'm going to start approaching that $1,200 to $1,500 range, I would want to have much more specific kind of characteristics associated with the item, unpunched probably, and all 80 subgrades. So, but somebody else was willing to pay it, so have at it. I think it was a beautiful item, and congratulations to whoever picked it up, but that was too high. I couldn't go that high. This one was the AFA 80 Plus 21 back A Snaggletooth. This one ended up going for $1,100. That's kind of right in line with market. Beautiful item, 85, 80, 85. Overall 80 plus with an archival case. Nice sharp colors on that one. Really, really nice condition. And again, that one sold for $1,100 on 17 bids. I thought that price was pretty fair, right in line with market. Here is one that I was also watching pretty close. I think this one was another steal from the auction. This one was a 21 back transition card, Empire Strikes Back Leia Organa. So it's got that Bosk free secret action figure offer. It was graded AFA 80, so a card of 90, blister 80, figure 80, so a 21 back Leia, and the final sales price was $860. I mean, I would have paid way more than that for that item. I was expecting it to go in the $1,200 range, personally. So that is the second steal of the auction, in my opinion. There's one other one I have that I remember as being a really good sales price, but this one and the Harbert Chewbacca so far were the 2 steals of the auction, in my opinion. Here was another one I was looking at, but it went way too high. This was an AFA 85 41 back A Lobot, unpunched, beautiful AFA 85 condition, really nice debut card for Lobot, and it went for $950, or about double what I paid for my 41 back B. So way too high for me, but really nice. I mean, obviously it's in high grade, but mine was an 80 plus 41B, also unpunched, and I paid about half that what this one went for. So crazy price. And there's another one I was looking at. I love these revenge stickers, as you guys know. This is the 48 back C Ungnot. This one was graded 80 plus, really nice condition, beautiful colors, and that one sold for $700. Again, that one's probably a little high for my opinion. I was expecting kind of 550 to maybe 600 on the top end, so not a gross overpay in my opinion, but it was a beautiful item. Don't get me wrong. I just think in general the revenge sticker card backs for ESBs, there always tends to be a premium for those. So this one was a complete and total mind-blowing sales price. I don't know what was going on. I know that clear blister biker scouts are really popular, folks, but come on. This one was it was an AFA 80 65 back A. Yeah, 65 back A clear blister. So yes, I understand that clear blister biker scouts on the Return of the Jedi card backs are very difficult to find. They almost all yellow, but the sales price was $1,250. That is almost the exact same sales price as a Harbert Italian 12 back AFA 80 Chewbacca. So to me, this was a gross overpay. I wouldn't have paid half that, maybe half of that. $600 is about what I think fair market value is for that. So I don't know what was going on with the bidding on that one, but that is to me, they overpaid by double, in my opinion. Crazy price. This one was a good price. I didn't include this as my top 3 steals, but this is certainly a steal of an item, in my opinion. This one was a Palitoy front. It's got the traditional Kenner style Palitoy front with the Trilogo back, so like a hybrid Trilogo, I guess is what I'd call it. It's a 70 back A Palitoy. It's really I call it a hybrid Trilogo. AFA 80 overall, really nice condition, unpunched, and that one sold for $251. That was a great deal, a really good deal. I'm going to go ahead and say that's steal number 3. I would have paid that in a heartbeat, if not way more than that in a heartbeat for that. Here was a Top Toys Argentinian El Regreso del Jedi Stormtrooper. Really nice. You can see the really unique Top Toys card back. The figure torso had some pretty heavy yellowing there. It was a 75 grade overall. That one sold for $800. I thought that was a pretty good price, pretty much in line with market there. All right, so here was steal number 4, in my opinion. Now, the torso on this Luke's Bespin on the Return of the Jedi card back, it was starting to yellow a little bit, or, discolor a little bit. But it was a nice clear blister, 77 back Luke Bespin, and it was an AFA 80 overall. 80, 85, 80. That figure subscore is probably no longer applicable because of the yellowing of the body and the fact that the accessories have come out. But whatever, it's an awesome item. And this final sales price was $750. I thought that was a great price, in my opinion. I was expecting more, kind of like $900 to $950 for the sales price. So great deal on that one. This one was an unpunched 77 back squid head. This was AFA 80. Nice clear blister on that one. That one sold for $438. Not a low price or high price, in my opinion. Probably in line with market. Another one that really shocked me on the upper end. This was an 85 plus Trilogo Rebel Soldier, unpunched, gorgeous example. I mean, as good as it gets. 85 plus overall score, and that one sold for $1,156, which is a big number. Way more than I'd pay for that. But again, it's a very high grade Trilogo, and tough to get that. Tough to find those. The other one, this was a good deal too. This was an 80 plus Rebel Commander, another Trilogo, and that one sold for $304. I thought that was a steal. Really great price for that one. And then finally, we got a clear blister Power of the Force R2 pop-up. I expected this one to go for big numbers. I was expecting around $2,000, just given that it's a clear blister. It was an overall 80, 85, 80. For that, and it's just hard to find in a clear blister for that R2 pop-up, and the final sales price was $2,100. So it's basically right in line with where I expected. I expected to go for about $2,000. So so I would say in general, there were some really big surprises on the upper end of the scale. Mainly that, I think given what it was, that the SKU footer 12 back Obi-Wan. I mean, I have no way to gauge whether that price was fair or not, but it was a 5-figure sales price. So that one was a big surprise, but really cool to see sell. But there were a number of pretty good deals in this certified link auction. I don't know when their next one's scheduled, but it's definitely one to keep an eye on. I think the other big gross overpay, in my opinion, was the Biker Scout. No way that's worth $1,250 to me. That's just complete insanity. But overall, I would say a lot of these were within market or below market. So there were some deals to be had. I do not expect any deals to be had in the latest Hakes auction. I think the Hakes auctions end November 2nd or 3rd. So I'll be sure to post a results video on that one for some of the amazing items. I mean, there's some incredible items. Whether it's in your budget or not, go check it out on Hakes, because there are just some mind-blowing pre-production stuff and carded stuff that is worth at least just taking a look at. So anyway, if you enjoy these kind of market updates, this was an interesting one on CertifiedLink that closed yesterday. Feel free to like the video, comment below with any if you bought anything in the CertifiedLink auction. I'd love to know. I know that a few subscribers were watching some of these items pretty closely, so hopefully some of you all were successful in picking something up. But if not, it's just cool to see some of the prices. But that's all I really had, and thank you again for watching, and I'll be back soon.